Good morning, sweethearts. Happy Friday. How are y'all doing? Energies are intense. Indeed. Indeed they are. Much change is on the air. Change. Winds of change. Change. We all know everything changes. Energy is a constant flow of change. As we go into this weekend, beginning of next week, you're going to find. And yes, it's relevant and it's necessary to stay in this present moment through these energies and through these winds of changes, sweet ones. That is where your truth, that is where your guidance, that is where everything is at, is in your heart, in this present moment. What many of you are experiencing and going through right now is the detachment to your identity, the attachment to the false identity, the emotional attachments that you have with your vessel. Good morning, Nikki. Good morning, Michael. Big hugs and blessings, sweet ones. In other words, let's use me for an example. And I worked with quite a few on this yesterday. I was going to do a video on it yesterday morning, and I chose to do it on something else. And now I'm seeing where I probably should have. So we'll do it this morning. Good morning, Sister Fred Marie, Bethany, Pamela, Rhea. Big hugs and blessings, sweethearts. So what's going on and what's occurring and what is really causing a lot of emotions and intensifying of emotions is you're releasing the emotional attachments you have to your vessel. You are stepping into your true self, which is your soul and your spirit. And so Linda or Pamela or Rhea or Michael, Sharon, that's no longer your true identity. That is your false identity. That is your AI. That is the name of your vessel. That is not the name of you. Now, does that sound like separation? Well, yeah, it is. But, for lack of a better way of describing this, for what you're going through, this is really the easiest way my team is showing me to explain it. So, Sharon, oh my, I woke up and was overcome by the beauty. I've really been in a space of bliss, a space of detachment, a space of just really calm peace the past few days. I'm more in an observational space from the deck of the ship, if you will. Many are feeling this detachment, these emotions that are coming with it. And really what it is, the attachment, and where I'm saying, where I'm encouraging, detach from your vessel, is those emotional feelings, those of lack, of struggle, of being overweight or not being good enough. You have to allow yourself to detach. Yes, for perfect description, Rhea. Letting go of the perception of this personality. Your vessel is not who you are. Your vessel is a spacesuit that you operate through your motherboard here rather than here. This is the one we're detaching, disconnecting from. And you're allowing this motherboard to command your light ship, if you will, which is your spacesuit. You're allowing your light ship to command your spacesuit. Let's do it. Let's look at it like that. So this is bringing up a lot of emotions. This is really occurring in your interpersonal relationships, your family relationships, and detaching that son daughter, mother father emotional conditional love attachments, because everything in the 3D matrix was built on and created from a foundation of conditional love disguised as unconditional love. Is it not written in your law, I said you are gods? Our heart's waters, making friends with our higher selves. Absolutely. And so as you go through the next few days are going to be intense, leading up especially to the 11th, 9/11. And so that's part of the process. The vessel is going through. That last veil, if you will, has been removed. And that last veil, if you will, was really the veil on the back of the heart chakra that has been dissolving, if you will, for the past few months. quite a few months. And this is really where your true self is going to merge fully with your spacesuit. And as chaotic as that is, as tumultuous as that can be, it is a huge, huge release that will bring all of you that have chosen to awaken into a most miraculous space. Like, you can liken it to, this is the final, well, nothing's ever final. Liken it to the final anchoring, or the main anchoring of your light bodies in, all leading up into the 23rd. The 22nd is the solstice, and, or the fall, well, I call it the solstice, but, and that's going to be the last of your choice point, if you will. That which you have not released is staying with you. And that's going to determine literally what frequency on the new earth, if you will, you're going to reside at. Or those that have chosen not to awaken and ascend, where they're going to rise at. You know, we opened and activated a portal vortex the other night on the 6th. And that is the transport vortex, if you will. You're going to start seeing a lot of physical deaths. You're going to, even more so than what you have. Through this cleansing of the purging of the earth right now, you know, she's done. And she's been done. She's not waiting no more. And, you know, and now it's coming full force. She is purging and cleansing all that is not of the highest good and for the highest good of her divine plan, her divine will, and the Creator, you know, Mother, Father, Creator's divine will. And she's purging it. She's purging all that energy from within her layers. She's purging all of those past ancient souls, if you will, those energies that were not for their highest good, if you will. She is purging anything that was constructed in the 3D matrix has to be deconstructed. And yes, it's devastating to the human aspect of us. But we signed up for this dance. In a dance now, we've been prepared for this. May thy will be my will. Amen. No, boys, come on now. Here, go on now. And so that's what this cleansing and this purging is. And again, it's devastating to the human, but right now, those of us that are awakened, those of us that understand what is happening, we really need, and I can't tell you what to do, but I encourage you, we really need to be present and stay in our peaceful hearts and allow ourselves to stop sharing posts about this stuff. Allow us to stop participating and engaging in the things that, instead of asking for prayers and stuff for all of these and everybody that's going on, surround them in light and love. You know, focus on disseminating the fires in the hurricanes. Even though they're going to do their job, we can lessen it. We can change the energy of intent behind it all, and we can make this all more graceful and gentle for those who have chosen not to awaken. And for those that are just starting their awakening journeys, we can be that shoulder, that pillar of peace and calm as they go through the experiences that they are all going through, with not only their awakening journey, but everything else that may seem not be fully clear to them as to what is going on. And this is a beautiful change. Right now there's a lot of fear out there. And not only a lot of fear being put out on social media, and the worry and the anxiety of the devastation of what is coming, what has occurred, and, compassion, kindness, empathy, but really observe yourself and see if you are falling into sympathy. That's not where we want to be as we go through these intense incoming changes. Feels the purge for surge. Everything presenting itself. It sure certainly is, Michelle. Sister friend Marie, Jesus answered them, is it not written? Oh, I read that already. Maybe we are already in the next levels of higher existence. Our minds just have to catch up. Mostly we are travelers. I am just saying, you are just saying, we are just saying. Time to reboot the Matrix program to a new higher vibrational program that mirrors who we really are. Absolutely, Sister Marie. And you know, I have company, and I was trying to describe that yesterday. You know, I really do live in a different realm, and I bring myself down, you know, back to where I see form and stuff. And the past few days that I've had company, I've really had to have myself anchored in a different frequency. And, you know, you come to a space when you're so used to living and being and existing on that new 5D earth and living in that realm, to come back, and I can't really describe it any other way to say come back, but to switch to this frequency of dimension, if you will, really gives you a lot of observational perception through different lenses. In other words, you can see, instead of just two sides of the same coin, you're able to observe from, you know, all 12 chakra centers, if you will, in all the different lenses. And that's a space you're all coming into. For those that aren't there, that's what these energies are doing. They are literally removing everything, and removing everything that you identify with in the humanness aspect of it. Because the humanness in 3D is those identifications and attachments to those identities. That's what's being released right now. And with that comes every identification to that which was constructed. The within is now manifesting without. You know, come 22nd, 23rd, you know. The 22nd is the cutoff date, if you will, in the sense that there's literally going to be no more. That's what you're leaving behind. And those that are not awakening to, they're still on their soul's journey. That's okay. But that's where you're going to start seeing, that's this vortex that was opened and activated the other night. And that's the transport. That's where you're going to start seeing those of us who are going home to our home planets. You're going to see some of them being transported out of here, or transcending the ship. You're going to start seeing some being transported to the new Earth. And when I mean, I'm not going to use the word death. To those in the lower frequencies, yes, it will appear that some of us, like Wayne Dyer and Louise Hay, died a physical death. They transcended worlds. And those that are of lower frequencies, you know, that's part of their soul cycle, and we have to honor that, and that is going to bring up a lot of emotions. And so Cassandra says, I think it will be somewhat problematic for people to shed the prejudices and the gender they focus on more entertainment. Well, and that's okay, Cassandra, because again, we want them to honor our soul's choices and the fact that we have awakened. By the same token, you know, these light workers have to stop judging those that are unawakened. At one point in time, you were very unawakened, and you were exactly like them, unawakened people. You know, hold space and love them. It's only going to be problematic if that's what you think and believe. And yes, the human aspect will observe devastation and change. But out of change, because something good, there is always something good, miraculous, glorious that comes from something difficult, challenging, bad, whatever label you want to give it. And out of change, there will be something very miraculous through this. And we really just at this space really need to just stay here and let go of those judgments. Let go of all of this stuff. It don't matter if they're awake or unawakened. Because really, when you take those labels away, which again, that's the identity you're going through right now, or disassociation to identity. There is no more of that. And even the labels of awakening and unawakened, or awakened and unawakened, need to dissolve. Any and every energy of separation has to be disintegrated. That's why it's by fire. And I mean, we talk about the phoenix rising, dancing through the fires of the shadows of death. And this is that final leap, if you will, of allowing yourselves to fully surrender to the Creator. And anything that is not a full surrender is coming up to be released, to be detached from. And there's many that are not going to be able to do that. And yes, that's where Cassandra is coming with problematic. But by the same token, the vortexes and portals that have been opened, they will be transcending their worlds too. No longer will this frequency of this planet support it. And that's where we really need, during these next few days especially, we really need to stay right here and be peace, and be that peace, and allow ourselves, whatever comes up, love whatever arises, and get right back into your heart. And of course, I can't tell you to do that. I can only encourage you. You know, it's not for me to say what is coming, what's not coming, this or that. I'm just sharing the energy of what's going on and why it's going on. And, you know, Gaia's done. You know, she ain't playing in this realm no more. And she hasn't been. And you guys are just now trying to catch up with her. And that's what this is going to be all about. You're letting go of those last attachments you have to the world you say you want to leave. And this is your final choice point. You sure you want to leave? You sure you want to go to the new earth? And this is how you react and what you release, and how you deal with through these incoming changes emotionally, and with your thoughts and your actions and your reactions is going to determine that. There is no more riding the fence, and that's what these energies are all about. And it's clearing out all of the old anything, including those energies of our ancestors, you know, that have been trapped. The raising of the dead, if you will. All of it is coming up and coming out to be neutralized to 0 point. So the final boot of the new motherboard can be online fully without any kinks anymore, if you will. We are now integrating our higher self, an incarnation of our soul in our physical form. That's right, and it's no longer, you're no longer that physical form. That form is your spacesuit, is your teleportation vehicle. And that's what these energies are, is releasing the identifications. Releasing the identifications to your form, releasing the identifications of your friends, families, lovers, and everything else in the 3D matrix to your form. Releasing all of those attachments, emotional identification attachments. And truly coming back to the core of your spirit and your soul. And that's the magic of these moments. So have a happy Friday. Stay in your peaceful hearts, sweethearts, and really love each other and love all through this. And you know, I encourage you to spend a lot of time in nature, drink some extra water, because there's a lot occurring. And we are that powerful, and we are powerful enough if you keep your intentions and keep yourself here, that we can manifest this even quicker and really allow that to take place. And we got this. Together we got this. Have a great, great weekend, guys. Big, big, big hugs and blessings. Bye-bye now.